Yeah, you see, like, I don't even think she can, like, join in, y'all. This should be tweaking so hard. This is why, creative knowledge, man, we gonna rebrand ourselves, the creative natives. We gonna rebrand our community. Like, after this apocalypse, better internet equipment, better mic, better
Peace. What's
everything.
up?
Peace, key.
I had to
Hey,
put my
so
earphones in.
is it straight on your end or am I sideways?
Nah, we're both sideways.
Right.
Can you?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I just turned my
Yeah.
camera to the side.
Facts. Me too. So, how you doing? How you
I'm
doing,
good.
key?
I'm pretty good. How are you? How you
That's
taking
what's
this
up.
whole quarantine pandemic?
Right. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Man, I'm very well. My job just told us today that you feel me, like I don't have to come in anymore. Really, you shouldn't come in anymore.
Right.
They wanted us to continue the social distancing.
Right.
Fucking anyone who had a cough or anything, they let their ass go like last week and shit. So
Yeah.
hey, I'm just a guy right now that's like, I'm trying not to. I mean, because they told me like, okay, after this is over, you come back, all that shit, like work gonna be regular.
Right.
But it's like,
It's hard to
me
think
as a
about it like
man,
that. Yeah.
right? But like me as a man, I'm like, damn, I gotta find a way to have some income. But
Right.
I'm good right now as far as like savings and being prepared for this and shit like that. But
Yeah.
you never know how long this gonna go on. So it's
Yeah.
like I don't know,
That's good.
But other than that, my mind is very clear. I'm not in a scarcity mindset or anything like that.
Yeah.
About you, are you have any fears of this? Like, is
I'm
it
human.
serious?
I'm human, so I definitely have been having some fears. And I try to keep, positive as much as possible, but I still have those, those thoughts and those worries sometimes. But I really realize that the main thing is just to like try to be in the moment, because the fear really
Mm-hmm.
kicks in when you start thinking about the future, like what's about to happen later, or like,
Yeah,
but being in the now, like right here, right now, everything is all good. Like I have no worries. Like I'm
yeah,
good. I'm here.
exactly,
So
exactly.
yeah.
I like that. Maybe like, yeah. I mean, and see, I think that's the difference between men and women. Like, again, dealing with the great mother energy and just how women women are sometimes in the past as well, but they know how to be in the moment, like what they want right now, and what they are perceiving right now, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like me, especially, I mean, I call it my own anxiety attacks. Like, I get to some points, like I ain't feeling it yet because, like you said, it is the first day of my true quarantine,
Right.
of me just being home all day relaxing. So
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm digging it and shit, but I'm
Yeah.
still like, okay, man, I at least gotta drop 3 creative knowledge videos. Something like it's
Right.
something that gotta keep me moving.
Yeah. It
And like
has
you
to.
said, dealing with this great mother, like I
Yeah.
feel like we have to be in that moment right now to connect with the great mother because the earth is trying to speak right now as well.
Right. Exactly. I mean, I feel like that is the great mother that's speaking right now. That it's a war. It's a war going on between
Yeah,
something way higher than us. That we're not being able to see. Right now, and
yeah,
it definitely is the planet Earth is one of the on one side. Like y'all been acting a fool for a little bit too long. Like
right,
y'all need
right,
to
for a
it's
little
time
bit
to heal
too.
the earth for real.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's keep kind of going in on that. Like,
Yeah.
so when you say the war that we can't see, is that because the majority of us as a people right now are not tapped into the spiritual? Because they say like the true frequency is into the spiritual level, like, and I think the
Yeah.
earth is going through spiritual changes more than physical changes,
Yeah. I do think it's
so
levels.
yeah.
I think I believe in like third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension. So I believe most of the planet and the people here are have been living in a 3D program.
Yeah.
So like I believe just 5D is, a higher spiritual program that we're trying to get on, like
Yeah.
we're being told to stop and slow down and like really, think about what matters, And I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Like, if things really got like bad, like I ain't gonna
Yeah.
say bad, but I feel like it's all gonna be a positive outturn. It's to heal the world, and
Hmm.
it might look bad to some people because they're just not comfortable with that, and people are in their
Exactly.
comfort zone, and we ain't used to a lot of things, natural things, like coming together and community and helping each other and turning off the
Yeah.
TVs and if things really got like that, I just feel like I've been thinking about like what can I provide, like what
Hmm.
what is it that I can actually provide to people if it actually came down to that. So
Ooh, that's dope. That's dope.
yeah,
So like, okay, cause I'll be thinking about that as well, and it's just like because I don't know if people watched a few of my videos like a few years back. I kind of predicted this a little bit. I didn't say it was going to be a pandemic or anything in that nature, but I did prophesy in a prior video of mine that in 2020, moving into the fifth dimension or the 5G era, as the government is calling it, because they are introducing new
oh yeah,
radioactive technology and new electromagnetic frequencies into the air. So, with that being said, it's like I'm thinking, okay, if this does happen, how can we protect our families and friends that necessarily wasn't think like because we can't just be like y'all wasn't
exactly,
woke so you
right,
know what I'm saying leave it
exactly,
alone. No, like these are still loved ones that we love.
yeah,
So like I don't know what the government has planned. I don't even want to think about them. We just have to continue to think about what we're going to do.
yeah,
And I think becoming more spiritual will help with this.
right.
Peace, peace. What's good, brother Wiz, man? How you feeling, bro?
And like you was just saying about, the family members, it's not, woke or whatever. I just think as the spiritual community, the people that are, aware, I think it's just our job um, to hold space for them and to be strong for them.
Yeah,
As long as we can, we can't do everything for them, but as far as like, when it comes down to discipline and having to like let go, I mean, it's going to be inevitable if we're going to have to
yeah,
let go of certain things. So like,
yeah,
I already feel like I'm glad I like last year went through that whole phase of like fasting and getting into fasting because that might come
yeah,
up where I have to go some days without food. So I'm like, if
yeah,
it ever happened,
yeah,
I feel like fasting is definitely like was preparation and like
yeah,
just
yeah.
having to be
No,
strong.
actually, you're 100 because people, and that's what I'm trying to like get more into now is my dieting habits and the times I eat. What am I eating? You know what I'm saying? Different things like that because of I noticed, and I know this is, of course, for the reason of you don't want to bulk shop on vegetables and
Right.
produce because they can go bad quickly.
Exactly.
But
Mhm.
when you go to these stores, you're seeing a lot of the meat taken, toilet tissue,
Right.
things like that. But the people who's really going to be in luck right now are the vegans that would just don't mind running out to the grocery store to grab some
Right.
celery and things like that. That's
Right.
but I mean, depending on how it get outside,
That's what I'm saying. You
that,
just don't know what's gonna happen. Like,
yeah,
what if there's no electricity? Like,
yeah.
that's a big one. Like, ain't nothing in the freezer gonna be able to keep frozen.
Come
Like
on now,
things like
exactly,
that.
exactly.
So I do be taking my mind to the deepest parts, but I'm trying to. I think the most important is to stay in the moment. Like seriously, because
Hmm.
just try not to think about it because everything outside of ourselves is it's man-made. We're in a matrix, an illusion. So the only
Yeah,
thing that really exists is inside of us.
yeah,
I just been trying to just do stuff like draw, like just be in a moment, like listen to music, just dance, just something to keep my spirits high. I know it's not easy all the time. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's not easy, but
what
like
do you
you
think
like,
if like the like currency wasn't valuable anymore? Like, how do you think that would look if like
mm,
money wasn't even valuable anymore?
I think that will help the people come together even more. Like,
Yeah.
and I actually was telling a few of my colleagues at work that they should start withdrawing their money. Get all cash. Like me, I'm a person that keeps all cash. Not to say anybody try to come pull up because it's not that, but
Yeah.
it won't be that. But get cash right now because hopefully not. We're living in the moment, like Key mentioned, but hopefully they don't begin to shut the banks down and ultimately close down the economic market at all, to the
Mhm.
point where, because we have to understand everybody's the same when the bank closed,
That's what I'm
rich, poor,
saying.
white, black.
Like
You know what
money's
I'm
not gonna
saying?
be mean anything.
It's not gonna mean nothing. So you're gonna be literally standing in front or behind someone who's trying to get in a bank that can be, what I'm saying, an enemy or a friend.
Right.
So we're really gonna have to start giving out love, which will
Right.
actually move us into our topic. Like,
Facts.
should love come with conditions? Should love just be given to everyone, or does it have to be earned? You know what I'm saying? Different things like that. Because if this thing started to happen, Key, I'm so, like, I don't know my neighbors, bro. Like, I don't even
Yeah.
see who my neighbors are.
Right.
So it's like, bro, who can I really be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm in trouble, help. Or if we can't trust the police, or if we can't, I can't even trust the people that's next to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. Like, I mean, I don't know, Key. Like, are we gonna be giving love? Should love be given at
I
this time?
I
What?
honestly think this is just how I feel. I honestly think there are a lot of loving people, and I honestly think that I have faith in humanity, and I think that people will come together, and that's just my heart. Like, even though I don't know my neighbor, I will help. Like just off of
Mhm.
the strength. Like, I'm a human being. I want to help. Like, so I
Exactly.
think it should be unconditional. I think if we was in that position, if we see somebody and somebody's asking us for help, we should help, if we can, with
Exactly.
whatever we can, And like you said,
Exactly.
I do feel like giving love, the energy of love is going to be the most important. Like, it's going to be the most important because it's going to be like money is energy now. Money, like energy, our energy exchange is going to be the currency, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But
Man, that was powerful. That was powerful. Like she said, the true currency is gonna be your current, like your current
exactly.
energy
Right.
at that moment, family.
Exactly.
Like, and this is where self control, this is where self discipline, this is where self love is going to come into play, and we're seeing it already. Like, with what people are actually doing at home. Now, it's okay to, party, take shots and things like that, but are we also still preparing to continue to get our minds smarter, read kids to our books, I mean, read books to our kids,
Hmm.
different things. Like, are we truly still giving love to those around us? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. I have this I have this book I wanted to share. This is like one of my favorite books, Celestine
Yeah.
Prophecy, and I'm reading part 2 right now, the 10th insight. But this
Ooh,
book is
let me write them down. Hold on, let me
no,
write
these
them
are
down.
really good. I mean, these are, I feel like, books like that I was meant to read for times like this. Like, you know,
Yeah.
a lot,
Yeah.
all of them, how to make money books, they might not even be, sufficient anymore after,
No, for
But these
real.
books are
Like,
on like nature and energy and how to actually connect with people, and when it actually even says how, the world will change like that, and how we will be having to use our inner resources for exchange as money. Because I was talking to this girl on her live today too, and I asked her, like, what if money is of no value anymore? Everybody's talking about starting their own business, but what if there's nobody with money to support these other business. Like, we all have to have money coming through to be supporting each other in our small businesses. So what if nobody's getting that income? We
Yeah.
can't support each other financially. So it's like it has to come down to
Would you
energy.
still exactly? Would you still give the energy to your business if it wasn't even a thought of getting
Right,
paid?
right, exactly,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly, exactly.
Like would people still give music or give, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And what's
no,
that
that's
book called
facts.
again, Key?
Celestine Prophecy, the Celestine Prophecy. It's really good. And, it start off a little slow, but it's really good once you get into it. But it talks just about that and how people are actually supposed to communicate. Like one part it said how
Yeah.
I have issues like listening. I know that's one of my weaknesses. And but like it says how like if we're in a group setting and you know how everybody want to talk over each other because it's gonna be a lot of people trying to be like, no, let's do it this way, no, let's do it this way. So it's kind of like um learning how to listen. Say we're in a group setting and everybody has different ideas, like how to like
Yeah.
just direct our energy to one person at a time. Everybody in the group, let's direct their energy to that one person and give them loving, positive energy and let them speak, and like one at a
Yeah.
time, and just how to really work as a people. Like if it comes down to like having to get connected like that again, it's really yeah, it's good.
And I think that's a important part of giving love or sharing love is becoming an active listener to
Mhm.
the other party. Um, that's how we can figure out each other problems. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, see, a lot of people don't like to talk about their problems because they know people won't just listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah.
gonna always try to be like, oh, bro, well, I
Yeah.
understand. You
Try to
gotta
give
try to, you
advice.
gotta try. Some people actually, crave just a listening ear.
Right.
I know I do sometimes, and I know sometimes I do like always be like, hey, bro, but it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
That's just the motivator in me. But
Right.
um, I think that can is that a condition though? Like, would you be like, I don't love you because you don't listen to me? And is that a, a good reason to not love someone is because they're not listening to you?
I don't think it's a condition, but I do think if you're giving love to somebody, you're like, listening to them and they're not listening back, then that just shows their lack of love that's they're not showing. If you're,
Yeah,
if you're not trying to listen.
exactly. Okay,
And
okay.
that's when I feel like that person is gonna kind of, I ain't gonna say left behind, but something like that. That person is not gonna be, if they're not on the love vibration and the higher vibration, they're just not gonna get it. They're just not gonna get it, especially if they're in a like trying to be a leader, trying to be competitive. And I thought about that too, like okay, like say if I just was thinking about a whole bunch of things, like what can I learn, what can I do if it really came down to like even if it don't get that bad after this, if everything goes back to normal, I'm still thinking about after this, the things that I could do to make to make to make the world better. As far as like learning how to grow my own food, like that's something I will really like get
Yeah,
into, like really learning how to grow my own food and like go to go
yeah,
to the
true.
gardens and really take classes, whatever I have to do to like to really learn how to grow my own food to be.
And see, hey, sorry to cut you off,
Like, go
but my
ahead.
granny actually taught us a lot about that. And I went to Walmart the other day and I seen a whole aisle of I mean, of course, you can't even really own a garden if you have an apartment nowadays,
Yeah,
but
but
like
just
I seen a
learning.
whole aisle full of like gardening seeds and things
Yeah.
like that, and I'm like, see, people ain't thinking either. It's almost springtime. Plant a few plants by
Right.
2 3 months.
Right.
You can have a few tomatoes,
Yeah.
few watermelons, few. You feel me? So
You're right.
it's like
Everybody
that's
do
how my
have,
granny them
in
showed
an
us.
apartment. It's kind of tough. But I'm like, that's why I said I'll go down to a home, whoever teaches these classes how to grow food. Like I'm sure they have a garden and at least just learning. Even if I have an apartment, I'll still have the knowledge if it ever comes to that. If I have to.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
and
Exactly.
like exchanging resources.
Ooh.
Huh?
So you basically saying that knowledge is the true power. Like,
Knowledge
because
definitely is power.
at any time, if you need to do something, you got to have the knowledge to do it. You
Right.
may not have it,
You may
and
not be
this
able to
goes
do it
back to
now.
what I
Yeah.
said. Yeah, like that thing may have to see the sun one day. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
whatever it is, you may learn it today, but you may have to use it
Yeah.
in 5 years.
Exactly. Right.
So, ooh, okay,
Yeah. Like
facts.
all the knowledge that we've learned and built up, we're like, what can I do with this? How can I use this? You
Yeah,
know? And then one day it's like, oh,
yeah,
it's time. It's time to pull out that arsenal. We've
yeah.
been
Oh,
yearning.
please.
Yeah. And I
It's
think
time to pull out.
like the energy exchange is gonna be what's most important. Like, what can you do for me and what can I do for you, you know? And like how we was
Yeah,
talking about, I'm just I know it probably ain't gonna get back to like prehistoric times or whatever, but like,
right.
how, the man, how we were just talking about the man woman dynamic, the team. Definitely think
Listen.
it's a team, a partnership. But if it came down to it, the woman would not be doing the hard labor. Let's just be real. The men bodies are built. Men bodies are built to to perform, the strong labor. It's just facts.
Yeah.
So like if I had to learn how
Okay.
to
So
grow
now that's
food, and he has to learn how to build a house or whatever, like if it came down to it,
yeah. Facts.
he's
Facts.
gonna have to hunt.
So
He's gonna have to
okay,
go out there and hunt.
and
But at
I
this day
agree.
and age, I do feel like women had to become independent to get to that point of like knowing our strength, like so we can actually, be stronger
Do
to,
more.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Provide a little more outside. Because I'm gonna tell you, like, I think the Earth will go back to pre-dynastic times,
You
is
think
what
so?
we call it,
Yeah.
and we call it that because of this was the time of, you know, the true balance family. This was the time when the family structure was together and we were in matriarchal rulership where the great mother was on top. We had reverence for our grandmothers, our moms, daughters, whatever.
Right.
So what she means by that is the balance of the black family, especially where it's the hunters and gatherers relationship,
Yeah.
not the slave and slave master
Right.
family. We treat everything with a slave and slave master relationship nowadays. Our food, our women, you know what I'm saying? All of that shit.
Right.
Back then, I think it was more of a, okay, Key, when you said women didn't have the hard job, the hardest job was picking out the correct fruits and vegetables to feed
Mhm.
us for the night.
Yeah.
The hardest job was sorting through the weeds and making sure that the weeds in the garden wasn't harming the actual vegetables and plants.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. People don't know that as quick as you can grow a healthy plant, a weed, a negative plant grows right next to it.
Yeah.
So just like we have to grow positive thoughts in our mind, we have to eliminate the negative plants or the negative seeds as well. So that was the hardest job for
Yes.
women.
Mhm.
Men, when we went out, it was just okay. I don't think we started eating meat until men started seeing that women had all the power by gardening.
I
So we
heard
were
that
like,
somewhere.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I think that's when we started going against women when we was like, bitch, I could feed us. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go catch a lion, and we
Competitive.
started
Yeah.
feeding y'all meat and all this type stuff, and we got lazy and started, that started to trickle down.
Just
But
the competition. That's where it came to.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So
And
I don't know. I don't know. I think women had a hard job. It's just
I think women
they
were more
knew.
in tune with nature also. They knew the seasons and, when to grow and
Yeah,
what, it was much different. So
yeah.
I don't even
So
know
when
how.
men were the builders of society, but the women were the architects.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can even see
Yeah.
that in the households today. Like my grandfather, he provided for my granny all the time. Now he did live the traditional today's style. Granny stay home and get creative, and he just works. But
Mhm.
she also provided that like she's gonna pay the bills with the money. She tells him and sets
Right.
out a whole list of
Right.
where the money going
Yeah.
and things like that. Like women today are not as organized as that. They don't have that type of love. They're just doing the bare
That's true.
minimum. But I don't know, you know what I'm saying? We don't know how a married woman or a married man, you know what I'm saying?
It's the
So
type of
I can
woman.
only
It's just the type of
yeah,
woman. You just got to know what type of woman. Like, yeah, if you give her, if you come home and give her your check, is she gonna know what to do with the right thing to do with it? Is she really gonna, yeah,
exactly.
she really gonna put it on the right things? That's definitely important. She ain't gonna go
Exactly.
shopping and spend it up. Like,
Come on
I
now.
mean, yeah,
Come on now. Trying to compete and look better than the proverbial woman. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's why, like you said, it's not, don't ever say it's all people because every relationship has a specific different quality. So like different men find different women, y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we gotta stop looking into the media and thinking that every Nicki Minaj get the Pookie and Ray Ray. Like,
right.
you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of good men and good women out here, y'all, that's really
And I feel
handling it.
like even the ones that's probably that we don't see a lot of, like the Ice Cube and LeBron James, their wives, we don't they're not in the limelight. They're not one of those chicks who trying to be all famous. But behind the scenes they have to be doing the right thing because that's why these men are still strong and with them. Like these famous guys'
Yeah.
wives. I'm sure. I don't know. It
Yeah,
just
and I
it just
mean,
shows you
but listen, cause I got my brothers in the building. Hold on, the niggas, my brothers in the building just checked me and said, hell no, I don't mean it in
about
that way.
what.
Like just about the fact that a woman is not supposed. Like I don't mean it that way because what I mean is that my granny did still work in ways of literally, bro. Like I said, had the kids, had us. She was teaching us gardening, sewing, cleaning. Uh,
Exactly.
like she was actually a teacher at home though. Like I'm not kidding y'all. Like literally, like
Preach it.
you know
I
what I'm
want to. I
saying.
want to
So
know why the brothers have such a problem with that.
you
Why
know
do
what I'm
the
saying?
brothers
So
have
I
such a
mean,
problem with
it,
that?
it comes to a point where, okay, if a woman is well versed and she already loves herself and she knows exactly what you know that is some moms that babysit from home, that create home daycares.
Right. Right.
Why the man like so? I mean, now yes, of course, get a woman that wants to work like that. Don't just get one that say, hey, you're marrying me, you're gonna
And I'm
work,
about to sit on my ass all day while you go
and
out to
I'm just
work.
gonna sit on
No,
my ass and look
that's
good. Like
that's
no,
definitely not the type of women that I'm talking about when I say like a man should provide
period.
for his family. That's not the what
Yeah.
type of woman I'm talking about. Who just
But
gonna
a woman that actually stands firm in your foundation and follows, your mission, like my brother P said, like me and Soul talked about this a lot. We said submission literally means a woman being the substitute or the sub, your partner towards your own mission.
hmm
And women are out here actually complying with that if a man has a mission, y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a
yeah,
living witness, you know what I'm
definitely.
saying? And ask my lady, she's a living witness to that as well. And I have dealt with women that wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Key has dealt with men that didn't have a mission. So like she's like, what the fuck? What am I following, bro? I'm
Right.
following. You shouldn't expect a woman to follow struggle, bro. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like it's people out here struggling, bro, that's leading a woman down a dark ass path, bro, and that's even worse for them because once a woman is fucked up, that's a cosmic connection that men are fucking up.
And that's
But
why I was saying how in this day and age, I feel like it is very important for the woman to have that peace of mind. But like I said, I wasn't talking about the women that's mostly shown in society and social media. I'm
yeah,
talking about a real chick who really know how valuable just being at peace within herself is. Like, but if you expect her to go out and get stressed out and then y'all both come home stressed out, that's just chaotic. That's what I'm saying.
hey, and you 100 because I had my lady one day tell me that she was like, I'm tired. Like, cause you know when men come home, I'm tired, babe. I just want my back rubbed. I just
Right.
wanna, woo, woo.
Right.
And see,
How does that
at a
see how
point
does
of
that work
time, I
out?
was, yes, like that's what I'm saying. At a point of time, I was that man where I'm like, bro, I need come on, give me this top. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to crack tonight.
Yeah.
Everything for me. But then I forgot one night, like, bro, she just got off work too.
Right.
You know
Exactly.
what I'm
Uh
saying?
yes.
So it's
And I
like,
know it.
so
The struggle.
now both of us have to put in that effort to, you know what I'm saying, make each other relax and stuff like that. So you
Right.
can't demand what we can't always give. Like that's like this perfect example. I know we always hear like you can't change the black community, or you can't change these young gang members until you give them another way to make money.
Yeah.
It's the same way with a woman. I think you know what I'm saying. Like you
Mhm.
have to give them the actual product. You know what I'm saying to
Yeah.
change, bro. Like I
So
don't
something
know.
that says so, that Soul was talking about too, like if you know the man is going out and working, um, should his wife have to do it? Okay, I'm seeing it a little different now. Like I see your point. Like I do feel like she should be that vessel to be able to have sex and please her man, especially if he's going out and taking on the heavy load, the stress of work and all that. So I do think
Yeah.
that is important, and especially like just rubbing his back, rubbing his feet, just nurturing and taking care of him. Like all that is very important. But like you just said, if y'all both out working, then y'all both coming home with your back and feet hurt. It's like can't who gonna do who. and
Yeah.
I've dated guys like that. I had to work and they didn't even work, but still wanted to play the man role.
Right.
Still wanted their feet rubbed, and how that worked.
Gee, and see, I see a lot. I didn't even want to go deep into that because I see a lot of that, and I actually had a close homie like that, and
Yeah.
my brother was my brother, but and it was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like I just was thinking like, bro, that's it made me self reflect more. Like, all right, bro, I gotta go harder. You know what I'm saying? As a
Mhm.
man, like, so me as a man now, I represent 120%. Whether that's at work, whether that's at my business, whether that's at creative arts, music, whatever it is I like to do. If you show 100%, your woman will give 120% or 100% at what she decides to.
If
And
she's a
I
real
always,
one, if she's a real
yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
if it's a real one, and just always encourage that. That's all we can do. We're still two different human beings. No other human being has to support you.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like women got to get out of that though. Like just because I'm with you, I don't have to. You're still another human being that's not part of me like that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Now, if you have family, if you have kids, totally different thing.
Yeah,
And
that's what I was
men,
about to say. If you have kids,
yeah,
it just makes it totally different. Like,
yeah. And it
I,
should be a community
but it's
rule,
gonna be
like
a
Big
team.
Soul said. Huh?
It'll be a team. It'll be both people putting in their part,
Yeah.
but doing different parts, not both people doing the same part. That's just like I was just saying about competition. If we all really had to to um to value energy instead of money, then like let's
Yeah.
say I knew how to cook and somebody didn't know how to cook and I cooked for them, but they did something that I didn't know how to do for me, like in those
Exactly.
energy exchanges. But what if a lot of people do know how to cook. A lot of
Yeah.
people know how to cook and a lot of people have some of the same resources. So that's what
Right.
like that's where the competition may come in, like, oh well,
Right. I cook better than you,
yeah,
and
oh
I
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
right.
It's all that's it
Yes.
don't.
But see, and that's where I told you yesterday, like it can't be about certain roles no more. Like you said, it has to be about where you fit in. Wherever you make up where that person lacks, like
Yeah,
where your partner lacks, if you make up for that,
yeah,
that's the relationship that's gonna work out. But like you said, if both of y'all in that bitch, like I cook the best chicken, so you know what I'm saying?
yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? I should be the one that's getting the best this because
Yeah,
I do this the best, but both of y'all doing it and shit.
yeah.
No, so
That's
now
when
you
there's
gotta figure out
competition.
okay, what I give to you and what do you give to me? And I think that's where like that what you bring to the table, um, conversation always has to happen, and it has to happen frequently too. Like people think just because you're in a relationship, you don't talk about what you bring to the table over the years or every month or every week. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I try to set it up where I have every 2 to 3 week checkups of okay, what energy did we give to this, or what
that's good.
energy, what way did we benefit from each other this month, or you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, like
Mhm.
because bro, like you're choosing to spend time, you're choosing to give
Yeah.
your kava, your
Right.
space. Like this is people don't know, bro. You're really alone. You just seeing this shit
Right.
as
Exactly.
kids,
Exactly.
but you really in a dark room, one light on, which is your third eye, and you just imagining this shit,
Right.
but you love it so much that you're here. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
See, we love the material. We love the material world right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Uh,
not gonna lie, I do. I
I feel
haven't
like
detached.
you have to detach. Yeah, that's the hard part though. But I feel like if we wasn't in this body, then we wouldn't even be able to become aware of the true nature of our our powers and who we really are.
Mm.
Um, I forgot.
So you don't think? Hold on. So
Huh?
you don't think the infinite knows of the infinite?
What you mean?
So you think that we have to be in the physical to know of the spiritual?
I think the yes, because we have a consciousness. I don't think the spirit has like a consciousness the way we do, as in this flesh.
Yeah.
It's like we
Mm.
get to
Mm.
solve problems and strategize. Like we have a mind. I think it's different from just being spirit.
Ooh.
And we're
Yeah,
here
yeah.
for a reason. Like what are we here for? Like it's
No,
gotta
no,
be.
you're right. No, I mean that's just a good question. Like I bet a lot of like you know what I'm saying, because I think like so you're saying our soul travels, but our now I see, and I mean I will have to disagree because I think our consciousness is our soul, and that's what rises. Like that's what's going to continue to go to the next physical. So you're
Right,
right. I think
right.
you know what I'm saying. So yeah, you're right. We saying the same
Well,
thing.
I actually like in the book that I was just telling you about. All right, so you do you, baby. Nah, but like I was just saying in the book, I do believe that actually the flesh is the third dimensional spirit. Actually, I believe that, and I believe like how when we go up into the fifth dimension, when other higher dimensions, we become light. This flesh becomes a light body, but
Yeah.
it's just our spirits are, we're carrying this spirit right now in this body, but as we go higher, we will look more like, that light body, you know. That's just my.
So no, like I agree with that because I mean I don't think the fifth dimension is the completion because I think
No,
there
I
are
don't think
seven
either. I
stages
think it's
of
more, yeah.
consciousness.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I think when we move to the fifth dimension, that symbolizes us connecting all five elements of nature, and we move into the ether or the ether, which is the complete darkness, and become, like you say, the light body. Like I think that this realm, even Earth, used to be more spiritual than physical, though.
Yeah.
That's like Earth is a very old realm. It's supposed to been like
Yeah.
renewed and shit, but the people who control it been keeping Earth here a lot.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know, man. Like I think that we have to move back into that physical realm to understand the spiritual realm.
Okay. Yeah. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?